Welcome to another episode of Just Talk with Gabe. I'm here, my sidekick is here.
Here.
And so is our guest. Let's get started. Who do we have today?
Today we have actor Travis Bryant on the show. He's known for his work on Sophia the First, Breakthrough, and Weird City.
I'm looking forward to seeing how he got to start in the business.
Me too, but before we get started, shout out to our sponsors, Fate Life Clothing and BCK Online.
Fate Life Clothing is a unique clothing line out of Atlanta, Georgia, geared towards those who love intoxicating style.
And BCK is a digital online magazine that keeps you in the know and up to date on the lives of young entertainers, rising stars, parents, and much more.
I'm glad they both joined us on our journey this season.
Me too.
Alright, so go grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And enjoy the show!
Travis, welcome to the show. We're glad you could join us for an episode of Just Talk with Gabe.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on, and our listeners want us to dive right in, so let's get into it. First of all, how did you get started in the entertainment industry?
I started at a really young age. It was one of those radio scam calls where you call in and it's like, does your child want to be on the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon? And I begged my mom to call in, and we ended up calling in, and we ended up going through the whole little scam, and then that ended up leading us to a connection who introduced us to one of the local agents in my area, and he introduced me to my manager in Los Angeles, who I still have today. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a hard lesson to learn, but everything happens for a reason, and that kind of one thing led to another, and now I have my manager.
That's awesome. And was it bad that turned into something really good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, there's a huge silver lining, I believe that everything is meant to happen for a reason and everything has a purpose, and I think that there's a reason why I heard that radio scam, and there's a reason why I begged my mom, and there's a reason why we went through with it, and one thing led to another, and everything lined up.
That's awesome. And that's kind of important for people to realize that all those, call in now and your kid can be on Disney tomorrow. Those aren't necessarily, people don't cast that way.
Yeah.
So that's...
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm from a small town right outside of Austin, Texas. And so, that's not New York, not LA, not even really Dallas, or Atlanta, where there's a lot of filming going on. So there's not a lot of education about the entertainment industry. And so not a lot of people are really aware of how that kind of stuff works. So it's so easy to fall into those little traps or those scams, and it's crazy how many people take advantage of that. But it's wild.
That's true.
That's true. So, as an actor, you have a variety of roles under your name. What is your favorite genre of acting?
I would say anything that's dramatic with maybe a little bit of action in it. I like physically challenging myself and doing something new. While at the same time, I love, a good, sad scene, or a good, emotional, it tears it a piece at you, and you end up so drained after the scene you have to go take a nap. I love those kinds of scenes. So I love anything dramatic or with a little bit of action. So yeah, that I guess that would be my genre. Yeah.
That's cool.
What has been the character that you've related to the most in your career?
The character I've related most to in my career would probably have to be Jonah in last year's movie, Breakthrough. I feel like we had very similar upbringings, being both young Christian basketball players, very heavily involved within the church. we both I feel like I drew a lot of my own experiences for that character.
Hmm.
Um, and so it um he's probably the one that I probably relate to the most, honestly. Um, yeah.
Okay. So speaking of films and everything, what's the funniest thing that you've seen on set?
I work on this show called Legacies, which is a spinoff to the Vampire Diaries.
Right, I know. I love that show.
We're actually binge watching the originals. We binge watched Legacies and we binge watched Vampire Diaries. So
awesome. We're rewatching the originals.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love the whole universe. And there's this one of the actresses, Kaylee, she plays Josie Saltzman on the show,
Right.
and every single week it's so weird because you'll never find her. The way we film on it's this warehouse turned studio lot. And so it's not set up very traditional. And so there's a lot of like hidden back rooms where they probably had like little mini offices for the storage and stuff. And so she loves hiding out in those weird spots and just reading books. And
Awesome.
so there's so many times where like every week you'll just be walking around or whatever and you'll run into her and you won't even realize until you're about to like step on her. Um, and she's just sitting there reading a book and it's real crazy. So I always find that to be like one of the funniest things just because like I'm just like, this is so different. And I mean, it's crazy.
That is hilarious. That's awesome. So there's no Salvatore school. I'm hurt now. I can't see another. Nope, can't see it.
If you could write the perfect character for yourself, what would it be and why?
The perfect character. I think I would love to play a character that I don't know if it's the perfect character, but I think I would love to portray um a character very similar to my mom.
Ooh.
I think that would be interesting. I think that would be unique. Um, and getting to like showcase her experience in a character and all the, the complexities to her personality. I think that would be really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Storyline, I've never really been somebody who cares too much about storyline, just because that's not really my domain. Um, but definitely like the layers and how complicated and rich and depth a character is has definitely been like my kind of thing. So that's where I would probably write a character similar to my mom.
That's pretty neat.
It is. What is the hardest thing about acting in today's climate?
Most recently, honestly, I would say these producer sessions on Zoom. I mean, it is so unique. Like self-tape is one thing, but like on a Zoom call when you can see yourself and they're like, no problem, let's just go for it. And you're like, what? And then you're acting through like a FaceTime call. It's a very strange medium. I find it very hard to get myself out of my head. Um, and like I did one of those YouTube screenplay readings not too long ago.
Uh-huh.
And that was done via Zoom as well. And it was really interesting just because that was my first time actually acting in a Zoom call. And whenever I was meeting with everyone like I was like, are we just reading this or are we like actually going for it? And a lot of people were like, we're going for it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Great, let's do it. And we sat in the rehearsal and we went through it, and I was just like, this is so different. It's because you don't get to see your scene partner and like I mean, you do, but it's very different.
Right.
And I I don't know about you, but I get so caught up in my head and I see myself on the screen and I'm like, oh, why am I making that face, or why am I doing that? Or
Oh yeah.
and it's so different and so interesting. So I would say honestly, the hardest thing about acting in today's climate is how distance this pandemic has brought us, and made us to do a lot virtually. I mean, a lot is opening up now,
Right.
um, but for a while there, that was pretty crazy.
That's true. Do you think that maybe the industry will keep some things like, they won't have to fly in someone from another state or another country to do an interview? They can just, or an audition, they can pop up on Zoom. Do you think maybe they may keep some things after the pandemic is over? What do you think?
I definitely think this pandemic has shook all industries, including the entertainment industry. I think a lot of things, we're gonna adapt and change, and they may not go back to the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if they're gonna stop, doing in-person auditions and stop flying people out, just because, you know, there is a different chemistry when you have someone in the room.
Right.
Um, However, I do think that a few things might change. I think, for the next couple of years, we may not see as many in-person red carpet premieres. We may see a lot more drive-in premieres like they've been doing recently.
Wow.
Um,
I haven't seen a drive-in premiere yet.
Nor have
That's pretty
I.
cool.
That
oh
yeah.
yeah, so Lily Reinhart's new movie Chemical Hearts, they just did a premiere a couple nights ago, and it was socially distanced. It was super cool. The venue was half filled with cars, like they didn't want to pack it or anything.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so they had a ton of little like food boxes with like snacks, and cookies and popcorn and all that. And
Oh,
it was just
Yeah.
like going to a premiere, but it was at a drive-in. And then whenever you pulled up, they had the photographers take photos of you in your car. So that
oh,
was
that's
really
awesome.
interesting. Yeah, it was very, very
It's
different.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the one lesson that you've learned about the entertainment industry that's shaped your career?
One thing that has shaped my career, I'd probably say perseverance above all. Um, I've been this is something that I've kind of been pursuing since I was like 8 or 10. Um, and I didn't really get into it professionally until I was around 12. But through the acting classes, and the people who are signed with your agency, and the people you make friends with, I've seen so many people come and go in this industry, because it didn't happen in the timeline that they expected, or you know, there may have been a dry spell where they weren't booking for a year or so. I've seen so many people give up, which there's been plenty of times where I've wanted to give up. I'm not even gonna lie, where I've questioned my future in the career, in this industry. But I mean, even during this pandemic, I definitely like had moments where I was like, "Wow, is this something I really want to do?"
Right.
But I think a lot of it has to do with um, it's kind of probably poor timing or perfect timing, depending on how you see it. But there's a popular phrase going around that Chadwick Boseman gave in one of his speeches, where he says, like, when you're living in your purpose, everything like will build you, and everything will shape you. And so I feel like when you find your purpose, whether it's whatever you're intended to do in this career, or in this life, sorry. And for me, it's been, I feel like my purpose is to make others smile and make others happy, inspire others to do the same. Um, and so whenever you find that and you find out who you are, I think that it's important for you to persevere through any obstacle and any challenge, um, because there's another great reward waiting for you at the end of that obstacle, whether it's a new job, or it's you know, you got nominated for an award, or you get this opportunity to work with this incredible talent, or whatever it is. Um, there's an incredible thing waiting for you at the end of that obstacle, and you just got to keep going.
That's very awesome. Sage advice.
Yeah, that is. That's great advice. In addition to acting, what other things are you involved in?
I try to stay very involved within my community. I work with a couple charities in the area, both in Los Angeles and back home in Austin. Um, so I work with the local food bank back in Texas. And then I also work with LA Mission out in Los Angeles. And one of the other organizations I'm heavily involved in is the Lollipop Theater Network. Um, and the Lollipop Theater Network is, for those who don't know, is an organization that provides entertainment to hospitalized children. So kids with um, these, um, sorry, the word is blanking on me, but kids with these illnesses and diseases, they can get to see, you know, the newest movies, and they can still because I mean, when you're in the hospital, there's not much to do, and you
Right.
kind of feel detached from the world.
Yeah.
So this organization builds that bridge and allows them to um, still be kids, even though their circumstances may be unfortunate. And so I like to work with them every year with their superhero lollipop run.
Oh.
I got to visit a few of the hospitals and visit a few of the kids and read some books to them, which is amazing. Um, and so those are the organizations. I try to be very involved in that, I would say. Other things outside of acting, I just recently signed a contract with Crayola as their global brand ambassador, which was really
Awesome.
exciting. And so it was for their Colors of the World multicultural campaign. And they just released these flesh colored crayons, which is really exciting, that represent over 40 um, skin tones. So that's really exciting.
That
I
is
did
cool.
that. Yeah. Um, you know, getting to do that has been pretty crazy. But I've done a few things here and there. I have a few side projects. I'm writing a book right now with a publishing company, and so hopefully we
That's
can get that out next year. So I'm trying to do a lot, trying to juggle a lot, but it's time management and getting things going.
What's your book about? Can you tell us, or is it?
Is it a secret?
So I can't really say too much, but I can
Okay.
say that it is going to be a children's book geared
Oh yeah,
toward
it is.
children of color. So I'm really excited for that. Um, and it's I'm drawing a lot from my own personal experience into this book, so it's really personal for me, and I'm really excited to finally announce that and get that out and have it all complete.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
Well, when you do
When you
get it
do
out,
get it out, we'd love to have you back.
absolutely, to talk more
For
about the book.
sure.
And so, guys, stay tuned because Travis will be back with his book. So make sure you tune in, and we'll tell you when.
Yeah. On that note, we're gonna go on a bit of a commercial break.
Okay, Travis, will you stay with us for the fun round of our podcast today?
Sounds good.
Okay, guys,
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Hang out and listen to a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Welcome back. And if you guys have not downloaded the Anchor.fm podcast making app,
Do it
and start making your own podcast today.
All right, Travis, welcome back to the show.
Hey.
All right, let's get into the next round of questions.
I like the fun round.
Okay. So, what movie do you wish was more like how do I phrase this? Okay, what movie do you wish was in real life?
Or more like real life.
Yeah.
A movie I wish was more like real life or in real life.
Yeah.
I would probably say I feel like honestly Avatar, the advancements in technology in that movie is so incredible that it'd be so cool to have that in today's world.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be so neat and you know, I'm sure someday we'll get there, but it was just so incredible to see that on the screen, to see that in real life. That would be pretty incredible.
That would be neat.
Speaking of advanced tech, you're transported to the year 2120. What is the one familiar thing that you want to see?
I would want to see probably their local or like their modern day television shows. Um, because I would hope that television still exists.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like television has always been my comfort zone. You know, I go and I'll binge watch a show if I'm, you know, not feeling that great. But they also are a great reflection of the period's history and the period's time, and the creatives that existed in that time. So I would love to, you know, if I just randomly woke up one day in 2120, I would definitely want to be like, oh, what's the most popular show you got going on right now?
Yeah.
And if they looked at me funny, I'd probably be like, oh no, TV shows aren't a thing.
Never mind. We'll just know. I don't know. I kind of want to go visit McDonald's in 2120. I don't know.
It'd be floating, like a floating McDonald's.
Yeah. I want to see what's up with
Honestly,
the golden arches.
that far in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if it's one just huge conglomerate and it was like McDonald's, Disney, Amazon, Tesla. Like,
That's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you
Yeah.
went to go get a Big Mac and you walked out with a Tesla.
You know that I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, nor would I.
That'd be awesome. One-stop shopping for real.
Yeah. What's your favorite city?
My favorite city and all the places that I've been to would have to be probably Atlanta. I love the rich history of Atlanta. I love all the museums and getting to visit um, those kinds of things and that and the culture and it's real interesting. So I would say probably Atlanta. If not, you know, obviously back home in Texas, it would probably be Austin. But um, other than that, yeah, definitely Atlanta. Um, there's so many great cities though. I mean, New Orleans was a pretty great city to visit as well.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we went there once.
New Orleans, Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I think it's just so pretty, and it's just the people. It's a great place to visit.
I like New Orleans.
Yeah, you like New Orleans. You're an LA guy though.
But yeah, I love LA.
That's true. LA is amazing too. I don't know. Something about all these amazing cities. I don't know.
It's so hard to pick.
Yeah, it is.
It's time to write the story of your life. Who plays you in the movie?
Hopefully someone handsome. um, honestly, I'm not too sure. I don't know that many actors that look like me. Um, I would probably say, I mean, is it exactly like it's like it's the story of my life. So I was gonna say, I was like, is it an interpretation or
Well, I mean,
I guess
your vision.
I mean, I wouldn't mind honestly, even if they flipped it and they gender bended the role and gave the role to Zendaya,
Oh, that'd
and
be awesome.
they were like, Zendaya, do your interpretation of what Travis is. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous, so yeah, that would be a totally that would be interesting.
That would be.
Hey.
Now on to the most important question of the day.
Uh-oh. What is it?
If you could take 5 things to a desert island, what would they be?
Can they be items that could get me off the island?
Sure.
No, honestly, all jokes aside, I think honestly I'd probably enjoy my time on the island. So I would probably say I would have a handyman of some sort who could build me an amazing house on this island. I would have probably a How to Survive on a Deserted Island for Dummies book. um, I would probably have um, a good, a good cookbook that I could somehow, learn to eat off the land, but still eat good. I
Right.
don't want to be like Survivor where they're eating bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be a little much.
Yeah. No bugs.
Uh, I feel like my phone would be useless with no cell reception, so not that.
Right.
Um, I would definitely need like one good pair of sneakers, um, just to get me around the island.
That's true.
And
True.
Go hiking.
yep. So a good pair of sneakers, that's four. So
Right.
probably last one would be my best friend because I wouldn't be able to get through it without her.
Oh,
And we'd be laughing the entire time.
that's sweet.
It is. What would you like to do before your next birthday?
What would I like to do before my next birthday? I don't really have any like achievements, I would say, before my next birthday. However, I think it would be really cool if I could foster or adopt a puppy. I think
Oh,
that would be
I
really
love
neat.
dogs.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one in LA. I have one back home in Texas. Um, but like that's the family dog, and I kind of I want during this pandemic, I've definitely kind of wanted one of my own, so probably might be looking into that soon, and that would probably be something I'd want to do before my birthday.
What kind of dog do you have back home?
She's a lab mix, so we don't know what the mix is. My mom says it might be pit, but she's a good like 8-year old. She's so old and sweet, and
Oh,
she's adorable.
I love dogs. No,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have a toy poodle. Not so.
He's in the chair next to us, passed out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's how interested he is in what we're doing.
That's all good.
Yeah. Would you rather go hang gliding or whitewater rafting?
Whitewater rafting, probably. I feel like being from Texas, visiting the river as often as I do, whitewater rafting would probably be more my vibe. Also, something about hang gliding and like being up in the air, no, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'd like to fly over things. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd go hang gliding.
I'm going to say neither one of the above because I can't swim and I'm afraid to go that high in the air. So I'm good.
Just stay on the
Yeah,
ground.
going that high in the air, there's something about it that just doesn't sit right with me.
Exactly. And I'm not in a plane, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to people who want to get into the industry?
My advice to people who want to get into the industry is it's kind of a two-parter, but definitely if you have to pay money, it's a scam. And
Yeah.
then my other one would be do your research. Um, Google is an amazing tool. And so it's so easy to just hop on and look up agents within your area. And then, I mean, even sometimes you can find reviews, or you can find other people who may be signed with that industry, and you can just give them a quick little direct message or whatever. Um, so I would say that, look up acting classes, look up everything that you may need to get started in your area. I think a lot of people have a misconception that you have to just get up and move to Los Angeles or get up and move to New York, and that's not true. Um, so I would say definitely just, do your research in your area, and don't ever pay money for someone to promise you like, oh, we'll put you on a TV show if you give us this much money or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's good advice.
What is the one thing that you want your audience to know about you?
One thing I want my audience to know about me is that um, I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book. I mean, whether people find me on social media or people find me through my work and movies or TV, I'm pretty authentic all around. What you see is what you get, and I feel like everybody already knows what I want them to know about me.
Well, in that sense, if everybody wants to find out more about you, where can they find you in cyberspace?
Of course. So my social media handles are Travis_Bryant, both on Twitter and um, Instagram. I just created a TikTok, so that is Trav Bryant, TravBryant. So yeah, you can find me on those. And then I'll obviously have my IMDb profile that they can also go to. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. We truly enjoyed getting to know you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, that's everything.
Guys, that's it. And this is Travis and Gabe and Tiffany, and we're out.
All right. I enjoy getting to know Travis, and I hope you guys did too. Stay tuned for when we have him back next season to talk about his book. And yeah, that's it for today. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.